Another day, another message, another after gym message. And it starts with all the world is love. Maybe not world. World is love. You are the greatest enemy of yourself. Because nobody gives such challenges to your own brain, to your own psyche, to your own consciousness, as your own psyche, your own brain, your own consciousness. Literally, I feel like the brain is divided into two, and one of them is always bigger, you know. One of them is always, like those two wolves that they speak about, and the one that you feed the most is the one that is going to prevail, If you feed the kind wolf the most, the angry wolf is gonna get, less attention and is gonna eat you up eventually. But if you feed the angry wolf all the time, then the one with most humility is going to, be dying. So, I don't know, my recent discovery has been that, I knew that I am more of a feminine man. Maybe on the inside, but on the outside, I think what happens is I come across as quite cold, because I'm so, I don't know, I have a lot of pent up tension, and sometimes I feel like, the world is against me. But when I look into the reality, and I guess I'm repeating my message, what I repeated yesterday, is the world shows me love, All my issues are in my own head. Like, I don't go around thinking that the world is pretty and nice and beautiful. I think that it's cold and, quite a toxic place, and, I'm quite negative about it. But when I turn around and I look around, and when I get the real reality, the real reaction of what the world is, all I'm getting is love, Like, yeah, the government sucks, The government is just people, And it's people in those places that I think they always wanted more. Like, if you want more, you're gonna get more. But what more do you want from this life? Because it's pretty, if you have a roof over your head, if you have some food, if you're not being bombed, you're living a pretty good life. So what else do you want, Because I think whatever you put out to the world, you get back, So I was listening to Wayne Dyer this morning, and, I received a phone call from somebody really early in the morning, and I didn't see that there was a phone call. And then I was like sitting, I was like, I don't want to have a phone call at 8 in the morning, started like creating all this negative picture. And then I was like, I haven't forgiven somebody, So I just quickly looked up on YouTube, like, how to forgive somebody, And Wayne Dyer came up, and I listened to a few of Wayne Dyer's lectures. And one thing he said was that if whatever you're getting from the world is how your inside is. Like, let's say if people are asking you for something, constantly asking, can you do this job for me? Can you do this favor for me? Can you do, look inside. If you're not doing the same thing to yourself, or if you're not doing the same thing to God, let's say, if you're not asking for more from the universe, from God, because it could be, let me look at myself. Yeah, I am asking for something. I am asking. And what am I giving, Am I giving something back? Because if I'm not giving something back, if I'm not giving anything back, then what can I expect to get, in return? You can probably see the crows flying. So many of them. Really smart birds. I think they're like signs of death or the underworld or something like that, but I don't see them as that. Like, don't ever cross a crow, because it will keep attacking you for the rest of its life, because they remember faces. They're pretty much like human beings. They remind me. That's why they're scared often when you come close to them, because they're too intelligent to be naive. They can't afford to be naive. They can't afford to lose a wing or a leg from a human being, So yeah, the world seems like a cold place, but just try this out for a couple of days, and I will try it myself. Instead of focusing on getting something from the world, focus on giving something to the world. Giving something, it doesn't have to be a financial thing. It can be attention. It can be, wondering, like, seriously, like last couple of days, I don't know if there's been some shift happening or something, but all I'm getting from people when I look around is just nice things, and everything that I'm seeing bad from the world, like I'm not stepping over. I think I'm becoming more sane, because it's enough just to realize that you are your own biggest enemy, because once you start to realize that, then you stop pointing fingers at everybody else. Once you realize that, oh, I have created this thing, this theory, this whatever racket about somebody, some human being, then you just need to look into yourself and just think, what is it that, what is it inside me that's making me create this racket about somebody, because not everybody is creating these rackets, and some people are just like living good life, not everyone is, or maybe everybody is doing that. Everybody's doing that to an extent, but I don't know. I'm doing these videos now, somebody just walked past and I'm instantly like, oh, what are they thinking? Like, what's their, why are they looking at me? I don't even know if they're looking at me. Like, why am I so focused on other people? Because other people are outside of me, and I am always with me, so it's like two people are always with me and the other me, so I have to always battle this fight, that is just against me. When I used to be skateboarding a lot, when I used to skate a lot, I was just battling against myself. But that battle becomes so intense, so difficult, that you don't want to fight it anymore. It's like, I give up. Like, I don't want to fight a fight. Like, I don't want to be battling continuously. Like, it's tiring. It's tiring. I don't want to be doing that. So then I battle against my shadow, and I think, well, if I'm going to be battling something, at least let's battle the bad guy, and the bad guy inside me, like this morning, was saying, don't make a phone call, don't call back, it's he just wants something from you, blah blah blah. And as I listened to Wayne Dyer, I was like, whatever you're putting out, you're getting. And I was like, I'm putting out negativity right now. I'm creating negativity. And I don't want to accept that it's my negativity. I don't want to accept it. I want to be like, it's not my fault. Somebody else did that to me. And it's like, well, that somebody else did that to you, but somebody did that to them. And they fucked them up in a way. So why do you have to, F them up now, Don't want to swear for some reason. But yeah, somebody messed them up. So why do you need to mess them up just because you've been messed up? I think I heard this from Jordan Peterson. He was like, 1/3 of people who got abused become abusers themselves. 2/3 don't become abusers. So it doesn't mean that if you got abused, you need to be the abuser. You don't have to be. You have a choice, and by making a choice, you cut the chain of pain. And I'm always circling the same sort of conversation, but it's always very important conversation. To me, it's important, so I'm like making excuses why I'm having these talks, why I'm making these talks. And it's like, it's so hard to realize that you are your own biggest enemy. Like, how do you become your biggest lover? How do you become your biggest fan? Same way how you become your biggest enemy. Like, you root for yourself, So I guess this is my time to love myself, and this is your time to love yourself. Everything, sometimes I'm talking about me, but it's my theory of how, if you're listening to somebody talk about themselves rather than them talking about you have to do you. It's like, I talk about myself, so then you get a reflection inside of your head of you talking to yourself, rather than somebody going, in your head, you have to do this, you have to do this. In your head, you go, I have to do this, or I could do this, or, I think the time of teacher-student is over. Now the teacher becomes the inner teacher, and it's so instant. It's so quick to realize, like, all you need to make is one decision to go sign up to the gym, one decision to go for a run. We can make up excuses, like a lot of excuses, but we don't have to, An excuse takes the same amount of energy as a positive a positive decision takes the same amount of energy as a negative decision. It's still a decision, but one leads to rising up, and the other one leads to falling down below. And I think maybe that whole heaven and hell concept is about that. It's the fallen angels, it's the rising angels. Heaven and hell is here. When we go to another realm, we drink the potion of forgetfulness when we get here, when we fall to this earth. And I think I believe that, we go to this well, we drink from the well of forgetfulness, and then we fall into this body, and then we are who we are. So I think let's just realize that, the world loves you as long as you realize that the world is not against you. It's you against yourself, or it's you with yourself. So I'm gonna leave you at that. And every time I'm doing these videos, I feel more and more afraid that I'm gonna say something wrong, and that I'm gonna say something that I have nothing to say. Like, I feel like I'm running out of subjects to talk about. So, but the more I talk, the more I realize that I have plenty of subjects to talk about. But that's how it has to happen, you know. Every day you become a bit more humble. I can even hear it in my voice. I'm like speaking slower, and because there's no rush, you know. There's no rush anywhere. Where are you rushing? You're Lithuanian. You're not Russian. But really, where are you rushing to die? You know, because the more you rush, the closer death gets. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that, with these crows cawing in the back, cawing in the back. Peace and love. Take care.